All right. I've lost my mind, but I'm doing fine. We're on like Act 3 of end of July hurricanes, where we had Hurricane Hannah. It wasn't supposed to be a hurricane, and then it hit Texas. And it was a bona fide hurricane, although technically Cranky never called it a hurricane. And then we had Douglas, which just missed Hawaii by the hair on your chinny chin chin. And now for Act 3, we've got, what is it, potential cyclone tropical 9. I'm not a number. I'm a free man. And what will this thing do? No one knows. But it seems like models are locking in on that it's going to hit the USA. Will it be a tropical storm, a depression, or a hurricane? Nobody knows. This thing is giant, chongo-monormous, but has had a hard time getting its act together in a spinning kind of way. But now we are watching some major bursts of convection rip through the islands, where it's doing something funky and fierce, without a doubt. And this is a weird system, which is still filled with a lot of surprises. But if we shy away from the individual model runs and just go to the ensembles, well, they aren't leaving a lot of choices other than miracles if we are not going to get hit. So it looks like it will go over Puerto Rico. I don't think it's going to be much more than a tropical storm by the time it gets to here. But I think this is kind of the point we really got to watch. And so what happens, well, nobody knows what it's going to do, but it is very interesting that the models are basically saying it's going to work within this cone of zone, which whenever it gets from here to here, it's going to hit the land. And so we are talking 5 days before it starts affecting Florida by a normal, non-miracle, non-WTF timeline. You got 5 days to prepare and 5 days for us to try and get a handle on how intense this thing is going to be. And so I have said I think it's going to pretty much do what the Black Line did, although it has the potential to get closer to the coast, as I was predicting last year, to where it's going to go up through here. Because I think it looks like my predictions were 1 year off. And so we would get hit here now, and then in like a month we would get hit, boom, like that. And so I had predicted this as a Category 2, Category 3 storm. And that regardless, from the very tip of Florida all the way up coast, needs to be ready for a 2020 type hurricane event. And, praying or writing songs or mentally trying to punch the hurricane away doesn't hurt. But I would be prepared, and I would have a plan, because it has been my estimation that Thanos, Loki, and Ultron are here in this big battle that is 2020. And so we will find out, is evil Prince Namor here? He's like a Poseidon type character, except he can be really mad and hate landlings. And so other models have suggested that it could go in as far west as the very tippy tip of the panhandle of Florida. But all the models now, 5 days out, have said it's probably going to run into land. Nobody knows its intensity, but they're pretty sure it's going to run into land. And so this would be more of my guess, although it could strafe, boom, like that. We will see. Man, this is like a midsummer meteorologist's dream, said Divergent Weather. Yeah, that's smoke from the Siberian wildfires north of the cyclone. So yeah, you got like major volcanoes, earthquakes, Siberian wildfires in the Arctic, big storms pushing on into the British Columbias of the Canada. And then we have our third Act 3, although it will push into August, but like of our 3-act structure with hurricanes, So I would guess it's going to be a hurricane. That's a guess, though. And then we're getting some decent activity out of the sun, which makes the intensity more intense. First thing to check, how are you calculating Earth's and Marth's positions very carefully, said Tony. His name is Tori, but I called him Tony because he seems like a better representative of Tony Stark than whoever other people might pick in the modern age. This is our galaxy, and that is Jupiter, and that is Antares. And this is the late night milk cafe, and that is Sirius. And that is a person. I don't know what that glitch was, but I do hope it was the work of the atmospheric defense team. So yeah, it looks like we're looking at landfall. Now the big question is intensity. We have like 4.73 days to figure it out. And people in Florida, please be careful. Please be aware. Please have a plan. Oh yeah, and I hold monthly fundraisers to keep doing what I do the way I do it. Because I can't do it without your help and support. So if you'd like to contribute, I got a snail mail address. I got a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron, and a lot of people say thank you for all of Asteroid Fight Club, and especially Mike, Andy, Robert, Bennett, Matthew, Jess, Angel, Wagon Breath, and Dan. We've only got $1,654 left to raise with like 6.3 days to go. And if somehow I spelled your name wrong on this list, please forgive me. My eyes are really blurry. And now I got like 2 blood red circles that look really weird around my irises. I might even be having aneurysms daily, but I'm still alive and I'm hanging in there. I'm saying that as jokey, so please don't misinterpret. You know, I go hard as Planetary Defense Commander, and I really haven't had a lot of sleep. And you might be like, well, go to sleep. And I'm like, well, I try. When I sleep, I have the craziest dreams. So it doesn't even feel like sleep. You wake up tired because you were so active doing a bunch of superhero stuff in your dreams. And then you're like, oh, man. And then you wake up and it's 2020. This is the GFS. So the GFS doesn't develop it very much. And now it's like, it pulls a Dorian, which would be wonderful. I would love if it pulls a Dorian and no one gets hurt. But the GFS is now moved in line with the track of the gem and the nav gem. And this would have potential to be very dangerous and damaging if it were to intensify and move in on the coast, like in a worst case scenario. That is a possibility. I had 3 beers. You guys are great. All right, now we're looking at the GFS parallel universe. And that's like, yeah, category 1, category 2-ish. And then it does the same thing, but it does the boom and the ouch and the boom. Oh, that was inconvenient. All right, let's watch it again. So it stays away from Florida, but then it goes into North Carolina. It does exactly what I predicted last year would happen. And it's the exact same intensity. So we need to be on the lookout for that. This is not definitely what is going to happen. I'm just saying this is like 2 model runs, the GFS and now the GFS parallel, that have this option. All right, now we're looking at the CMC Music Factory. It's a model. Oh, dang it. I should let it load. One moment. Okay, this might have to have a red alert in front of it because look, the CMC does pretty much the same thing, a different version of the GFS and GFS parallel. It actually grazes up Florida, goes up to the coast, and then bangs into New York and Massachusetts. That would be a pretty bad situation. Okay, the latest nav gem has some missing frames, but we see it go up, it intensify, and then just go wham right into the shaft of Florida and into wham. Wham. That's the nav gem. I totally have to put red alert in the video title now. Pretty much every model has it making landfall. Every single model. So now it is only a question of what will be the intensity of Storm Icy Ass. I mean, miracles are still possible, but that looks like what we are depending on now is miracle or a tropical storm that nobody gets hurt by. Those are the 2 good options we have here. Some type of miracle, it goes out to sea where models radically shift over the next 4.5 days, or that the islands tear it up so much and it never forms from the Chongo Big Funny Bunny storm and it's just a large, cool storm that brings lightning and wind. But worst case scenario is it's Category 2, Category 3 hurricane that hits a lot of people, brings a lot of storm surge, brings a lot of heavy flooding, on top of a pandemic that we've been dealing with for 5 or 6 months in a really piss poor kind of a way. It's like Loki, Thanos, and Ultron have done what they can to divide us and kick our ass. And so now we may have Namor, And so we need some people getting ready with some good plans. So stay aware, stay cool. I love you. We will make it through this. But it could get really bad, dude. It could get really, really bad. And I got a bad feeling. So hang in there, but now is the time to plan and prepare. Okay. Peace out. God bless everyone.